My Grandad Marches on ANZAC Day, written by Catriona and illustrated by Benjamin Johnson. Brrr! You can see that it must be cold. Their breath is fogging up and they're rubbing their hands together to keep warm. On ANZAC morning, we get up very early. It is still dark. We drive in the dark and park the car. We put on our coats. It is always cold. We wait at the memorial for the sun to come up. There are sad poems and singing. We say, lest we forget. A bugle plays a lonely song. Then guns fire at the sky. Once, twice, 3 times. Bang, bang, bang! It makes me jump and scares the seagulls. Later, we have cake and hot chocolate to warm us up. We find our spots for the parade. Daddy gives me a badge, just like his. I sit on Daddy's shoulders. Everybody watches on and waits for the parade to begin. He wears his best jacket and has shiny medals on his chest. He doesn't have much hair on his head, but he does have a big moustache. Grandad knows where we will be waiting. He always smiles at me. Lots of people are marching, their legs all moving in time. Some of them play music. I feel their drums boom in my chest. Boom, boom, boom. Grandad marches with his friends. He remembers when they were young. He remembers when he was young. He marches for all his friends who can't march. He marches for us. Some people can't walk in the march. Some are pushed in wheelchairs. Some ride in cars. We clap and wave as they go past. Well done, boys, my dad calls out. They smile shyly and look pleased. Once, long ago, there was a war, my daddy says. Many soldiers fought and died in a place called Gallipoli. Some were from Australia. Some were from New Zealand. They were called ANZACs. They died in places with names like The Neck, Lone Pine, and ANZAC Cove. Their mums and dads waited, but they never came home. My Grandad marches to remember them. My Grandad wasn't there. My Grandad was in a different war. That's where he earned his medals. We love you, Grandad. Thank you so much for serving for our country. After the parade, my daddy says, I'm proud of you, mate, to Grandad. He has tears in his eyes. Grandad is quiet. He is still remembering. One day, I will march on ANZAC Day, and I will do the remembering. This book, My Grandad Marches on ANZAC Day, is dedicated to Catriona Hoy's granddad, George, who always marched on ANZAC Day. Now we will do the remembering. Catriona Hoy was born in Scotland and immigrated to Australia with her family at the age of 7. They all spoke with funny accents, got horribly sunburnt in the middle of winter, and moved another 7 times before finally settling in Melbourne. Catriona is now a science teacher and writes for children. My Grandad Marches on ANZAC Day was written for her own children about their granddad George. He was born in Ireland and served in World War II. He met Australians at Tobruk and later immigrated to Australia. George was proud to call himself a rat of Tobruk. He always marched on ANZAC Day.